predator. He was put out there to seek and destroy.
Nur für mich bist du am Leben. Ich steck dir Orden ins Gesicht. Du bist mir ganz und gar ergeben. Du liebst mich, denn ich lieb dich nicht. Du blutest für mein Seelenheil. Ein kleiner Schnitt und du wirst geil. Der Körper schon total entstellt. Egal, erlaubt ist, was gefällt. Ich tu dir weh, tut mir nicht leid, das tut dir gut.
And now the net gets knocked off, and here we go now in behind the net. Scott is taking on all comers, or wishes to. And he and Douglas Murray, well, he picked the biggest guy on the ice. Scott and Murray exchanging blows in the corner. And they are two big uns who are going at it, or trying to go at it. Douglas Murray and John Scott, and the officials are just standing back, and now Murray loses his hat. And Scott trying to get an arm free to take a poke at him. Now when he does, he caught him with a whale of a right. And now Murray would like to just tie him up, and he does so effectively to end it. And Murray got cut over the eye. So Scott and Murray put on a show. 2-1.
Get him, Scott.
Oh, we might see some goals. Yeah. We got a fight. It is David Coochie dropping the gloves with Big John Scott. Two big heavyweights going at it. Scott with a right, another right, another right, another right. Then Koci comes back with a right of his own, uppercut from Scott. Long reach from both guys. Right hands from both. Neither really landing well. There's a right hand knocked off the helmet of Koci. Back and forth, Koci and Scott. The sweater over the head of Koci, and that's enough for the linesman to say, let's stop this one before somebody gets hurt. David Coochie and Big John Scott dropping the gloves right after the face-off.
McLaren trying to get away from that stick. And now there's another fight over on the other side. Scott and McLaren with right hands. McLaren a couple of rights again. Lands 2, 3, 4. On Scott. Scott gets the helmet off. McLaren trying to turn. These are large lads. This is the first fight the McLarens had since the knockout against Ottawa. And the referee there, and now Scott just leaves. Well, they both agreed that.
And gave him a couple of real big early shots. And there's the first one. And then Orr goes right up to Coletta for his extracurricular.
Scott's going to go. And he's going to go with Bolduc, and they decide to take the helmets off.
This is old school, boys.
This is, hey, they have a... That's just too much reach.
Too much too soon, baby.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Right in front of us here.
Well, Kevin, just step back. You don't want to catch a John Scott right.
He's really taking control of this fight, guys. I mean, he's absolutely unloading the right hand.
Well,
that's good stuff.
He had to. And you know what? Bolduc is he's got Bambi legs. He can't even walk. He can't even get off the ice by himself. He goes back to the tunnel. He got rocked.
I'm telling you, John Scott took a cheap shot way back in the first period. And throughout the second period, John Scott was looking at the Vancouver bench, and he was basically saying, any of you cowards want me, I'm here for the take. And
Crawford staying nice and square, makes the stop. The gloves are down. It's Scott and Jansen. the long reach. He pummeled LA's Kevin Westgarth over the weekend. And now he's sticking it to Cam Janssen.
Janssen with a good left. Janssen tried to get in real tight. He knows he doesn't have the advantage reach-wise.
Both of these guys throwing bombs. Janssen's a rugged customer. Strong chin. Saying, come on, let's go, come on. Stamina on Janssen to keep firing late. Linesman giving him a long leech. And then finally, McKelman and Pancic. The linesman will separate those two.
It does. Here we go. Oh, John Scott and Shawn Thornton. The Scott is about as close to an old-fashioned coon as you can get. He's 6'8", 270, and he drops Thornton. Scott averages all of 3 minutes and 25 seconds of ice time a game. He has 1 career goal. And Thornton goes to the box. As a hockey player, John Scott can really punch people.
6'8", is that what we said, Jack? 6'8", 270.
Yeah,
that's Chara size.
Yeah, he cracks the ice.
Left side of your screen, right off the bat. Thornton was trying to get the jersey and pull him in tight so he didn't have that big reach advantage where he was punching down at Thornton. But clearly Scott getting the better.
Other side to this game, and here we go. John Scott trying to get the Wild going, and he challenges George Parros.
Scott 6'8" with that big long reach. Parros, of course, 6'5", and this is the first test of Parros' right hand since he had surgery in the offseason this past summer. And right now, he's having trouble getting anywhere near John Scott, who knocks him to the ice.
And that's a little jab by Scott right on the button that fells George Parros. And you can see George a little bit frustrated as he makes his way into the box. Keep it on the left side of your screen. Both players back away immediately after the puck was dropped. So, you know, what happens in that situation is that Scott says to George Parros, will you go? And he asks him for the fight. And George isn't going to say no. And that's a respect from George Parros for a young player like John Scott. And that's a good scrap by Scott. And that's a little bit more than a jab that landed on the chin of George.
And right off the faceoff, Janssen and Scott are going to have a go. They went in the first get-together this year. Now round 2. Scott landed a right, then a couple of short lefts. Janssen looking to answer, but having trouble with Scott's reach. Now Janssen got in a right, and then a good right by Janssen got in. He tagged him with an uppercut too. Scott looking to answer as the right cocked. And they exchange right hands, then one from Scott. And Scott got in another right. Janssen, a willing customer. This is what he's best at for the Blues. And he and Scott in familiar territory here. And this has gone on for a while. And they don't want to be done yet. Scott's still throwing them. And Janssen jersey comes up over his head. Here come the linesmen. That is exhausting. Oh, what a bat. Back around the boards. Whiskey kept out. We're going to have a fight. Scott has the gloves off along with Westgarth. Kevin Westgarth and Scott hammered him with the right hand. Westgarth trying to hang in there and not doing it that nicely. Scott again with a right, then an uppercut. Westgarth trying to answer. He's been caught already and doesn't want to be done yet. But a big edge to John Scott in this fight. Oh, and he got in another right hand. And oh, another right was eaten by Westgarth. Oh, and look at Kevin Westgarth. He's been thunderstruck. Kevin Westgarth will go off for repairs. John Scott having the upper hand a couple of times on Kevin. And the Ultra Mo.
32, John Scott. Lost penalty. Number 19, Kevin Westgarth. 5 minutes each for fighting. Time of the penalties, 11:44.
Don't fear the reaper, nor do the wind, the sun, or the rain.